So today's video is going to be a little different than normal. I always told myself I wasn't going to do this, but then again, I keep telling myself I want to be more real and just more real in my videos, because, you know, these are like family videos and, you know, they're not always that happy-go-lucky type situations. You know, I want to talk about the hard stuff, talk about the bad stuff, and then, you know, look back on it in a couple years and realize what I've overcome and how much I've gone through. But I'm just having a really hard time lately. As you can probably tell, I look like crap. I was wearing makeup this morning until I cried it all off, and I'm here at work, and Harrison hasn't been sleeping, so of course I'm exhausted, crying on top of that, and it's just a recipe for a disaster. But things just haven't been the easiest, and I know I've talked about it before, but I do suffer from postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, and maybe postpartum PTSD from Harrison's birth and then his subsequent surgery and things like that. But, you know, it's just been hard. I think with his birthday being, well, his birthday just happening a couple days ago, and everything that I went through with him in the last years just, you know, continuously coming out. Every so often I have these little mental breakdowns like this where I just let it all go. And I think with this one, I just hit that point of exhaustion plus getting some information today that I wasn't hoping to get. And so it just makes me feel hard. It's just hard, because it's like there's so much that I wish I could change. I wish I were happier. I wish I could be home more with Harrison. I wish that I didn't get so frustrated with him when he doesn't sleep because I'm exhausted. And you know, I had this all planned out perfectly in my head prior to coming out here to film this. But to kind of give you a little overview, last year with Harrison's birth, it was pretty traumatic. He was in distress, so I ended up having a C-section. He had the cord wrapped around him. Well, first off, when they broke my water, he had pooped, so there was meconium in the fluid, and then he had the cord wrapped around him, and he was sunny side up at the time, so essentially those types of things make it to where he most likely wasn't going to come out. And I attribute that all to his head, and he was just a really big wiggle worm when I was pregnant with him. So, you know, just the entire situation with his heart rate just dropping and the C-section and then the lack of sleep just really inhibited my postpartum depression. And then it just kept getting worse and worse. When I finally reached out for help, I was able to get on a new medication, but I think my medication at the time was just wasn't the one that I needed. And so, you know, adding a new medication plus having a medication that just was really crappy just wasn't working. And then it took over a month for me to finally get into a therapist. And then when I was able to get into a therapist, my meds were screwed up, and then Harrison got sick, and then we ended up, well, he got sick with RSV, and then we found out about his cranio, and then stressing about his surgery, and then having to go back to work first with coming back after my maternity leave, and then having to come back after his surgery, and then now with his birthday. It's just been a long but fast year, and I'm I just wish things were different, you know. I wish I didn't feel like such a crappy mom when I can't be home with him. I wish I didn't feel like a crappy mom because I get frustrated with him. Yeah, I just... See? Crying again. I just wish it wasn't so hard, you know? And I've talked about this before, but it's like I wish they came with like an instruction manual, or there was like some sort of book that just had general things out there. And there probably is, but I've never been able to find it. But just something that says, hey, guess what? At this age, babies can go through this, 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 and this. And then, you know, here's information on what happens, you know, why are they not sleeping? It could be this, 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 and this. So I'm not wondering why he's not sleeping, and then finally realize, oh, he's teething, or maybe he's not, or maybe he's hungry, or maybe something else is going on, instead of racking my brain trying to figure it out, getting frustrated, and then realizing he was probably miserable, he was probably in pain, he's probably this, and then I end up feeling worse and worse. And, you know, especially the lack of sleep last night is just, I just want a night where I can have long sleep. Harrison has had one good night's worth of sleep, and it was 2 weeks ago. I want that again, and I want more of it. But, you know, any of you moms out there who watch my stuff, I don't get many people who watch my stuff anyways, because I'm not cool like that. But if any of you know what it's like to have postpartum depression and anxiety, then, you know, you understand the guilt of not feeling adequate, of not being there, of not being happy, not doing this, not doing that. And at first, when I was 2 months, when Harrison was 2 months old, give or take around there, I was really, really hard on myself. And I would constantly tell myself things like, you know, if I wasn't doing anything right, then I would say, you know, I just need to, what did I say? Something along the lines of, I just need to Another stress is the fact that my therapist that I was seeing ended up leaving, and so I see a new therapist tomorrow, which is lucky I was able to get in as fast as I could, because one of the locations that I called in said that they wouldn't be able to get me in until December, and today is October 29th. Go figure. So, there's a very big lack of mental health support in the area that I live in. And so it probably wouldn't be as hard as, it wouldn't be that hard if I could get in to see somebody instead of having to wait months on end in order to see somebody. But anyways, just based on my rambling, I just been hard, and, you know, now my fears and anxiety of something happening to Harrison are coming back again, because I don't want anything to happen to him. You know, and I know logically nothing's going to happen to him, but I'm still afraid that something's going to happen to him. And, you know, I just can't stop thinking about it. Can't stop thinking about how I miss him so much, how I want to be home more with him, and then how I feel guilty about, you know, lack of funds and money and just all that adult stuff. Adulting sucks. But I'm tired. I want to go home. I want to go snuggle my baby right now. I don't want to be here anymore. But it's only Tuesday, and I still have 4 more days left to work. So, anyways, if anybody has listened to my rambling, I apologize. I'm just just me. So anyways, I will let you all get back to something more entertaining instead of watching me complain and cry on this vlog. So bye.